Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero apresta y el bridón, y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Ciña, patria, tus sienes de oliva, de la paz del arcángel divino, que en el cielo tu eterno destino por el dedo de Dios escribió. Mas se osare un extraño enemigo profanar con tus plantas tu suelo. Piensa, oh patria querida, que el cielo un soldado en cada hijo te dio, un soldado en cada hijo te dio. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero apresta y el bridón, y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. ¡Viva México! ¡Vamos, Juana! ¡Viva México!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, with the Nellis Air Force Base Color Guard here in the ring, and with dedication to the men and women who serve in harm's way with the armed forces of the United States of America, here to sing the national anthem of the USA, please welcome Season 10 American Idol star and recording artist, Thea McGee.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave.
Tail of the tape for Manny Pacquiao against Juan Manuel Marquez. And of course, the 6-year age advantage for Pacquiao is cited by many as critical. It's one of the reasons he's a heavy favorite to win the fight. A half-inch height advantage for Marquez. They're equal in arm length from the armpit to the end of the fist. They both weighed in a pound or two under the 144-pound agreed-upon catch weight limit. Neither felt compelled to go all the way to 144 tonight. Pacquiao weighs a few more pounds at 148, and Marquez has gone up to 150. Happy box numbers. And in the first two fights, the same pattern was observed in both fights. And that pattern is Pacquiao throws more, and particularly throws more jabs, but lands at a lower percentage than Marquez. who landed more punches and landed more power punches in both of the two fights and landed at a higher connect percentage in both of the two fights. The most important statistic, however, knockdowns. In 24 rounds, Pacquiao was able to put Marquez on the canvas 4 times. Marquez never was able to get Pacquiao down. And that's the reason that Pacquiao has a draw and a 1-point win in 2 fights coming into tonight. Highlights of the 2 fights. Their first fight 7 years ago. May 8, 2004. And the first round, Emmanuel Stewart, it appeared that Marquez was not ready, was not dialed in on Pacquiao's left-hand power and his speed.
Yeah, he was not prepared for it because unlike most guys who throw their left hand just to land and make a contact, Manny Pacquiao punches all the way through his target. And he got hit with 3 great left hands, went down, and after he figured that out, he came back and fought a great fight. But he had a real tough first round.
But after that first round, in the eyes of one judge, Marquez won 10 of the next 11. As he turned the fight around with tremendous right-hand counterpunching, seemed to have Pacquiao solved. They fought furiously to the finish. Pacquiao made a comeback later in the fight and landed some more power shots, but Marquez reached the final bell thinking he had come all the way back from the 3 knockdowns to win the fight. Instead, it was called a draw, and technically incorrectly so, because Burt Clement's score, 113-113, was wrought partially by the fact that in the first round, despite the fact that Marquez went down 3 times, he gave him 7 points. The other 2 judges both scored the first round correctly, 10-6 for Pacquiao. Guy Jutras loved the counterpunching of Marquez. Jon Stewart loved the aggression of Pacquiao. So they fought again 3 years later in 08. And actually it was 4 years later in 08. And the fight began pretty much the same way. And in round 3, Pacquiao's left hand found the target again.
That is what he has to look out for tonight even. Seems like he gets hit mainly with the left hand mostly because Marquez keeps his right hand a little bit wide with his defensive way he fights, and Manny finds a gap to get inside of it. But beyond that, Manny Pacquiao has a rough time with Marquez, except for those left hand shots that he can get inside of it.
Later in the fight, Marquez was cut by an accidental butt. Then Pacquiao was cut by a punch. Then Marquez was cut by a punch. Then they fought feverishly to the bell with blood on both of their faces. And when the final bell rang, once again the judges had an extremely difficult assignment on their hands. And this time they met the challenge in very similar fashion to the scoring of the first fight. Wayne Ford liked Pacquiao's aggression. Jerry Roth liked Marquez's counterpunching. Tom Miller in the middle was the man who broke the draw. 114-113 for Pacquiao. So the knockdown in the 3rd round, a single point, the difference in the fight, the reason Pacquiao was able to beat Marquez in their 2nd fight. Since those 2 fights, Manny Pacquiao has mounted one of the most amazing sustained runs in the history of the sport. He went up to lightweight and beat David Diaz. He went to welterweight and beat Oscar De La Hoya. He beat Ricky Hatton at junior welterweight. He beat Miguel Cotto at welterweight. He went to 154 pounds and beat Joshua Clottey. He easily beat the much bigger Antonio Margarito. He walked through Shane Mosley at welterweight. Every one of those fighters, a naturally larger man than Pacquiao, none of them anywhere close to giving him competition in the ring.
And you know what, in addition to those being such big, famous, recognizable marquee names, he probably lost about 4 rounds total.
He annihilated them. Meanwhile, Juan Manuel Marquez has had 1 slip-up since the 2 fights with Pacquiao. That was the one time he decided to go up and weight to welterweight, fight Floyd Mayweather at a catchweight. He was as though in quicksand in that fight, had no chance of keeping up with Mayweather, and was annihilated over the course of 12 rounds. In addition, Mayweather knocked him down. So did the relatively ordinary Michael Katsidis. Obviously, to have a best chance to prove his point and win against Pacquiao tonight, Marquez must try to stay on his feet for the full 12 rounds. Their records are amazingly similar. Marquez's record is 53-5-1 with 39 knockouts. Pacquiao is 53-3-2 with 38 knockouts, virtually identical. Juan Manuel Marquez, in the 2nd half of his career, finally emerged